Nintendo fan isn't easy, especially considering the price of Nintendo Switch 2 and its games. But don't worry, here I'm gonna tell you 15 tips and tricks to help you save some cash and get the most out of your Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo Switch 2 introduces new Joy-Cons that attach magnetically and a prettier, cooler, and pricier Pro controller. However, all previous controllers, including those used with Nintendo Switch Online, are compatible with the new console. Obviously, the old Joy-Cons can't detach and charge, but you can still use them to play. The Pro controller case is even more interesting because it's 100% compatible with Nintendo Switch 2, can be found up to $20 cheaper than the new model, and has practically identical features. If you want to save on controllers, Nintendo Switch 2 gives you all the flexibility you need. The case of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is quite special because you can save significant money on the enhanced versions of these games for Nintendo Switch 2. When you buy the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, the complete version of the game is included on the cartridge. However, you can save money by first buying the Nintendo Switch 1 version, usually much cheaper. Even though Nintendo games rarely drop significantly in price, both titles can sometimes be found for under $50 or purchased secondhand. Nintendo Switch Online provides the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Zelda Breath of the Wild, among others. So buying Nintendo Switch 1 games and upgrading them for free with Nintendo Switch Online can save you over $20 compared to buying new versions directly from stores, and you'll end up with the same product. Each store has its own specific deals and discounts, though they generally try to match prices on Nintendo Switch 2 and its games. A potentially interesting discount can be found in generic and occasional store deals. For example, Best Buy offers for a limited time $20 bonus reward with every $150 spent on select Nintendo games. Taking advantage of these types of offers can save you around $20, enough to buy another game or accessory for the console. The digital format on Nintendo Switch 2 provides some interesting options for sharing games and saving money among friends and family. It is called Virtual Cards. It's similar to traditional physical game lending, except games automatically return after 14 days. This makes it easy to lend games to your friends and vice versa without having to buy them. You must be part of the same family group to use this option. Another option is sharing games by putting a friend's account with the desired game on your console, although this process is less secure and straightforward. Still, it's an option to save on games and share expenses. Nintendo Switch 2 has a different appearance and size compared to Switch 1, but some of its accessories are cheaper and fully compatible. Stick covers should work on both consoles, but you definitely need to test how well they fit going from Switch 1 to Switch 2. Nintendo Switch headphones and microphones using jack, Bluetooth, or USB-C are compatible, as well as most third-party controllers that can be used as Pro controllers and are significantly cheaper than the official version. Saving with the digital games is possible, though not directly through the Nintendo Switch 2 eShop. You can recharge your Nintendo account wallet using Nintendo eShop gift cards purchased from multiple online retailers, such as Amazon, Aniba, or other trusted stores. These platforms often offer regional cards and occasional discounts, making it an easy and sometimes cheaper way to top up your balance without needing a credit card. Typically, you can save about $1.12 in eShop credit for each US dollar spent, allowing you to get games like Donkey Kong Bonanza for around $60 instead of the official store's $70. Sharing a Nintendo Switch Online subscription on Nintendo Switch 2 is one of the best ways to save money. Up to 8 people, who don't have to be blood relatives, can join a group and enjoy online gaming, retro Nintendo games, and numerous other benefits. You can get the basic official version for around $34.99, though sometimes it can be found for about $30 online. Split among 8 people, it comes down to about $4.50 per year. The expansion pack version increases the price to about $8 per year, but includes expansions for Nintendo Switch 2 edition games, DLC for titles like Animal Crossing New Horizons or Splatoon 2, and the GameCube Virtual Console, among others. By sharing Nintendo Switch Online, you'll save a lot of money and significantly boost your Nintendo Switch's potential. If there's one game worth buying bundled with Nintendo Switch 2, it's Mario Kart World. Nintendo often includes games with console bundles, offering considerable savings. Try to find a bundle that suits your interests. Mario Kart, for example, drops from its recommended $80 to $50. Depending on the region, games may come in physical format, keycards, or digital codes. The camera is one of Nintendo Switch 2's essential accessories. It's used for game chat and multiplayer games like Super Mario Party Jamboree and Jamboree TV. The official Nintendo camera has excellent 1080p quality but costs around $50. Nintendo Switch 2 supports cheaper USB cameras or even cameras you might already own. Compatibility can be checked directly on the console. There's also a cheaper Piranha Plant themed camera with lower quality but an original design, perfect for kids. This option offers significant savings, though it's somewhat extreme. Nintendo Switch 2 is far cheaper in Japan, costing around $300 compared to nearly $499.99 in the US. However, it's only available in Japanese. Region locking prevents importing, but if language isn't a barrier, you could save nearly $200. Keep in mind the warranty won't be valid in your country. One of Nintendo DS's best features has returned for Nintendo Switch 2. Game Share lets you play games for free if a friend owns them. This isn't like lending a game. It's a way to play multiplayer on selected games by Nintendo without buying them. For example, if someone owns Super Mario 3D World, up to 4 people can play via Game Share without paying a single cent, sharing the game locally or over the internet. This helps you to enjoy certain games, even completing them with friends, saving money on game purchases. Nintendo Switch's latest rewards program called Gold Points didn't transfer to Nintendo Switch 2, but games from one console are compatible with the other. You can save a bit of money by buying physical games and redeeming Gold Points as long as the game was released before March 24, 2025. This lets you take advantage of Nintendo's discounted Gold Points system to get digital games a little cheaper on the eShop. Just keep in mind that Gold Points expire after 12 months, so don't forget to use them and get yourself some nice digital discounts for your new console. Nintendo Switch 2 games are more expensive than Switch 1 games. Fortunately, many older games have been optimized and run better on Nintendo Switch 2, such as Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. While not the same as experiencing brand new Switch 2 games, consider buying updated Switch 1 games for Nintendo Switch 2, as they are significantly cheaper, often around $20 less. Not buying is also a way to save on Nintendo Switch 2. Some games simply aren't very compatible with the new console. For example, the Labo VR set doesn't work with Nintendo Switch 2, so don't waste your money. Nintendo published a list of games you should avoid because they might not perform well on Nintendo Switch 2. Check the video's description for the complete list. But the best way to save on Nintendo Switch 2 came directly from Nintendo of America's president. There are some people that may not be able to afford the Switch 2's price point. That's why we wanted to make the other Switch platforms available, so people still have an opportunity to come into our gaming universe. The original console will coexist for years with Nintendo Switch 2, featuring a massive catalog, cheaper games, and exciting upcoming projects, so you can continue enjoying Nintendo's world without buying Nintendo Switch 2. Know any other tricks for saving money with Nintendo consoles? Leave them behind in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for future videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.